I just want to give a brief update. I totally followed the skill tree in my guide, and at level 92 I have Devouring Diadem. So this is really great. Um, in a normal, in most cases actually I would buy Legacy of Fury first before Devouring Diadem, but Legacy of Fury was really expensive this league. Usually Legacy of Fury is much cheaper than Devouring Diadem, but they were almost the same price. And for the same price, I would rather get Devouring Diadem than Legacy of the Fury. When I bought this Devouring Diadem, it was 4 divines, and Legacy of Fury was like about 3 divines. So, but actually now I have currency to buy Legacy of Fury. This is like 4 divine of currency, and I have many more things. But I'm sure that Legacy of Fury will drop in price very fast. So I'm hesitant to buy Legacy of Fury, especially because I need to work for the next few days. So I can't play much the next few days. So the helm is Devouring Diadem. If you don't have currency for Devouring Diadem, just get an item with life, resistances, and maybe strength or dex. The amulet, this one is total trash. I should have replaced the amulet, but I just uh, I just didn't. But this amulet definitely is going to be one of my items that I'm going to replace next. The shoe is just a very simple shoe with life and resist. I think this shoe is worth. I bought it for like 2 chaos. The the weapon is very simple. I didn't really get anything from the Crucible skill tree yet. It's just basically a bit of cold spell damage and a +1 to cold spell skill gems. I think I bought this for like 5 chaos the first in on like day one. I think now this is worth like maybe 1 chaos. And the rings, tier 1 life. I try to prioritize life because I have more than enough resistances. The only resist I lack is chaos resist. So I have tier 1 life and some resist. I think this ring costs like 2 chaos or like 5 chaos maximum. And this was bought on day one. And this ring is quite bad. It only has 41 life. I will definitely want to replace this ring soon. I think the only redeeming factor about this ring is that it has 14% cold damage, so it is not so bad. But this ring is also some. I probably bought this for like 2 chaos on day one. And then the chest I crafted it, so I just bought a base. You need to buy a base that it requires Dex and Intel. And such a base will allow you to get 4 blue, 2 green easily. And then you can buy a Essence of Greed, which is currently like 2 to 3 chaos. And then if you use it on your chest, it will guarantee the line, which is body armor 120 to 126 life, which is the most important line. So if you use it maybe a few times, you will get a decent roll. So this roll is not too bad. It has 125 life, 23 core resist, 30 dex. Actually, it's not. I won't say it's even good. It's just a. It's actually probably just an average roll. So if you buy a base and you just spend a few essence of greed and then you will get a chest for. I bought this base for like 40C. I think right now it's definitely even cheaper. Um, and then you use a few essence of divine and a few chrome, so this cost me like 50 plus C. And this was bought purchased on like I think early day two. So right now it's definitely much cheaper. I still have a open suffix, so actually I can even craft chaos resist. I can even bring my chaos resist up. Yeah, actually I can do that now. But it's fine. I shall not do that now. It's also open prefix, so I can also craft a prefix if I want. Okay, so then the gloves you need the inflict cold exposure on hit. This is our method of applying cold exposure. If you do not have the ether roll, then what you need to do is to use frost bomb on the bosses. I don't think you need cold exposure on just normal mapping because the mobs are not a problem. The mobs die very easily. The only problem is the boss. So for boss you use frost bomb until you get this glove. You can either use the uh, Eldritch currency to roll it, or you can just immediately buy one off the shelf with this roll. And then in this item, it has some life, which is good. It has immaterial lightning resist, and then there was a free slot, so I crafted a +1 level to socketed AoE gems and increased area effect. So now the Valco stamp is 1 level higher. The belt is basically just life and resistances, and the boots, uh, this boots is trash. In fact, I picked up this boots. This boots is item level 53. I picked it up when I was in the X. I thought I was going to buy a Legacy of Fury very fast, so I didn't want to replace it. But turns out Legacy of Fury is a bit expensive. I think now it's still 2+ divines. So and I can't play much the next few days. So I'm quite sure by next weekend Legacy of Fury is going to be some 30-50C item. So no point I go buy a 2+ divine item. I may actually just want to replace this pair of boots temporarily with like a higher life and higher movement speed roll, because this pair of boots is really rubbish. So I will replace the amulet and the boots soon, and definitely the weapon. The weapon I will replace soon. Then the flask, for the life flask you want instant life flask and immunity to bleeding. Then the rest, if actually this shock is useless because I already have temper shield. But before you have the devouring diadem, you have to run the defiance banner instead, and then you will not be immune to shock. So this is useful, and then this evasion is useful. This curse is useful. Actually, I was trying to reroll. I was trying to roll a armor. Reroll this quartz for armor because this shock is useless. But my ING has been very bad, and I cannot bother. Cannot be bothered. I will just buy a. I'll just fix my. Oh, okay. I actually fixed it. Okay, now I can use this. Okay, great. So now this is a new flask. And so I have armor, I have evasion, I have curse, and this move speed, later in the game you can actually replace this move speed with something else. So what else do I have? Oh, my gems are only like level 20. Although I've currency to buy a new one, but just don't want to at this point of time. So you can run T6. I can run T16 maps. My endless Q3 is Delirium, and I'm basically playing Delirium League because I have a mirror like every other map. So it's just Delirium, and Exarch I just added, and Shrines. Shrines is very good. And June, cause yeah, I'm basically playing a Betrayer plus Delirium League. I would say if I want to farm currency, it's actually better to run T14 maps because there's not much advantage of a T16 over T14 map at this point of time. And what's more important than the tier of the map is how fast you clear the map. If you can, it's better to clear like lower tier map quickly than to clear a higher map slowly. So actually this T16 is not something that's optimal for currency at this point of time. If you see those MF players, they will actually run really low tier maps, but they'll juice it like a lot. And that shows that actually it's more profitable for in currency terms to run lower tier maps that are juice than high tier maps that are not juice. Yeah. So this one is this is definitely not optimal. But this is to show that you can run a T16 map and even Delirium quite comfortably. For my flask, I also want to automate my flask, but I'm just waiting to get better flask first, then I will automate. And then gems wise, I will definitely want to get Vortex and Gripping Force to level 21. Actually, I'm surprised that Devouring Diadem is so cheap this league. I expected an even higher price. Um, that's why I was going to farm Betrayer because I wanted to farm Devouring Diadem. But apparently it is really cheap. I think it's even cheaper than last league. So some people thought that Devouring Diadem they went to GG went to nerf the drop rate of Devouring Diadem, but actually because the demand went down so much. Because nowadays the price of things are determined by streamers. If you see a big streamer use a unique item, it's probably going to be expensive. And so because so many streamers are advocating for EOM, Eye of Malice, for DoT, so no one is using Devouring Diadem. And that's very good for me. It's so good. My Devouring Diadem has Strength and Dex, which is the best roll for this build. Definitely, the second best roll is probably Dex with Intel. Uh, in the previous league, the Intel would be useful because you can actually get extra damage from Intel, but the mastery has been removed. So now the best roll is undisputedly Dex with Strength. And the second best is Dex with Intel, and the Intel doesn't do much. How I'm earning currency is basically running Delirium, and you can see Delirium gets you so many things from one map. And then I'm also running definitely farming invitations also. So I try to do T14 and above maps. And I was trying to farm a Devouring Diadem from Betrayal, but so far I've killed two Masterminds and have gotten nothing. And the price of Devouring Diadem is going down, so maybe I'll change my mind and spank to something else. Okay, what am I doing? There's nothing. So once you have Legacy of Fury, the mapping will be much smoother, like way smoother. But Devouring Diadem is also really good. So if Devouring Diadem and if you have currency and Devouring Diadem and Legacy of Fury is a similar price, buy Devouring Diadem. Devouring Diadem is really good. It will give you skill points from EB, so you save 3 skill points, and then it will give you recovery, the Feast of Flesh, so you don't need to take on Vampirism, and it can also give you Strength and Dex if you have money to buy the correct roll, and it also gives you a energy shield recharge when you use a skill, so you can run no regen maps. You can also run the poison on hit. Yeah. If you don't have this 10% chance of energy shield recharge on when you start a skill, you cannot run poison on hit. You cannot run no regen map, and that is super annoying because it means that you actually have to read map mods. Because at the end game, you actually just want to just uh elk maps or like or even put them in unidentified. But if you don't have Devouring Diadem, you cannot run poison or hit. You cannot run no regen. So that's super annoying. Yeah. So Jungle Valley, I can also run. Cannot inflict exposure. Okay. Means that our damage should be lower. We don't really before you get these gloves, we use Frostbomb for exposure. There's also other ways to get exposure on the tree by adding some masteries, but the way that you get is really janky. And actually killing mobs is not a problem. All you need the exposure for is the boss. And I'm sure you can use the Frostbomb on the boss. So how I found currency this league, okay, how I found on day one was I did Chaos Recipe because I entered maps with really little currency. I entered maps with like with less than 10 chaos. So I did Chaos Recipe, and then every Chaos Recipe I did, I went to buy one item. So I do one Chaos Recipe, I get two chaos, I buy one item. I do one chaos Recipe, I get 2 chaos, I buy another item. I buy until my items are decent. And actually until now, I still got 2 items that are total trash. I probably was just too distracted on other things to replace them. Okay, the thing about Jungle Valley, actually I quite like the boss, the for the Alta for Exarch, I quite like to pick the boss because then everything is consolidated at the boss and you don't need to like go around and pick up items because picking up items requires a lot of time. Backtracking is time. Like if your build can clear the map very fast, but you need to keep backtracking, then your build is not really fast. So, you see, if I backtrack like this, then time is spent. So I like to click the boss. No, but the downside of Jungle Valley is, um, you will not spawn a boss. You will not spawn a boss altar on Jungle Valley, because the boss is not considered to be in the map. Because you know, when you enter the boss room, right, the boss haven't spawned yet, so they don't consider the boss as in the map. So, uh, so that's not good for me. But if you don't like to, so that's one thing you need to know on this map. There's no boss altar because they do not consider the boss as spawn. So if you like to farm boss like me, then this Jungle Valley is not the best map. So phasing is very important for DoT. If you cannot phase, then you cannot walk through mobs and then you'll die. This. So today I definitely have stopped the chaos recipe. Because this running maps quickly is just so much more profitable. I have a dump tab, so I just review stuff and I just throw inside. I have a 10 chaos dump tab, and then if the item is supposedly like worth much more, you get spam, and then I will know that I've mispriced the item. So I don't want to really spend much time on reading mods and all that. So this map you cannot inflict exposure, so it's kinda slow. Oh, wait, what? Oh, I thought there was a 6 socket. So I just review, throw everything inside. 6 sockets, yeah.
Good day.
You don't want to like review and then read the mod each item. You don't want to check awaken trade and all that. It's too much time. And time is money. So Crimson Temple map. Now you have this one, you have vulnerability, but it's fine. So I try to do whether to do a T14 map or T16 map, you still get the exhaust progress. So there's not much reason to do a T16 map. And so far I've not been doing the league mechanic because it's just not rewarding. I think maybe later in the game where you have when people find out something good and then, or like I have a better weapon that's not 5 chaos, then I would bother upgrading it. But I understand that there's also some nodes where it allows you to sell the item for good currency. So maybe that's a way of farming Crucible also. But as of now, the difficulty to reward ratio is just not there. You are better off doing other things. So I'm skipping for now. Sometimes I pause to do it for fun. But it's not really fun also, so I mean for now it's not really fun, so I'm not doing it. So yeah, so I have two watchstones, so that's why my maps are dropping high here. in this state, this build definitely cannot do Maven unless you are a bossing pro, so yeah, I'll not be getting the third Watchstone by myself. Because I'm not so highly skilled.
I need more mana.
Unless you give me better gear, then yes, I can possibly do it. I'm not really a bossing player, I'm a mapping player. Also, the nice part of this build is you can just put in maps unidentified. Once you have Devouring Diadem. Actually, I'm definitely over sustaining maps. I added a lot of map nodes. I think maybe it's not. Maybe I may even unspec some because it's not necessary.
And not before.
So my next upgrade is the Amulet, the boots, the wand. I'm just waiting for people to craft better wands. And then Legacy of Fury. But definitely now the price is so high, super high. There's no need to... I don't really need it. So once it drops, I will definitely buy it. But if your progression is not so fast, by the time you buy Legacy of Fury next weekend, there's going to be some dirty 50C item. Because everyone only needs one Legacy of Fury. Last day I bought mine at I think 40 chaos. Yeah. And every day the price just dropped. I hope the Legacy of Fury price quickly drops because I know that once I get it, the map play will be much better. I'm quite sure. I think the price might even just half tomorrow. Like today is 2 plus divine, and tomorrow is gonna be like 1.5 divine, and the next day is gonna be 1 divine every day. And since I can only play like a few hours over the next few days, because I need to work, I might as well don't buy it. Because you can see here, my map clear is fine. It's good to have. The map is done. Before you get this Devouring Diadem, you don't want to run no regen, you don't want to run poison on hit, and if there's the less recovery mod, you may also not to run it. Oh, and plus 2 projectiles. Plus 2 projectiles is really annoying for a mini build like this. In the early game. Then once you have more items, then it doesn't matter. Oh yes, I also want to automate a flask. Cause now we got the flask automation a bit. It's not so, it's a bit tedious to play. It's a bit. I just got used to not pressing a plus, so now it becomes a chore. Although in the past I've always played spamming plus. Okay, whoa. We need to. What happened? Okay. I think the faster movement speed, faster attack mode, and I don't know what. Maybe the Delirium too. I expect the... I'm not selling my fusings now because I expect the price to go up. In the next few days, more and more people will be crafting, and then the fusing price will go up. Oh, Horizon, actually that's not a... Actually they gave it free for the Curate Pass, so now it's not very... It's not valuable. I used to do Alva last league, but but too many people were doing Alva, and so it wasn't... Selling the double crop locals wasn't as profitable. So maybe this league I won't do Alva. I don't know what's this boss. Why did I die? So powerful and drops nothing.
When I'm ready, I'm not prepared.
Well, the good thing about I actually prefer Delirium Mirror over those daily maps because those percentage daily maps, because the rewards drop at the end.
I need more mana.
So you don't have to keep backtracking and picking up items. There's no point your build kills monster very fast and then you have to keep backtracking. Just a waste. Oh, okay. Okay. He still wants it. All those.
May the darkness spare you.
I think the trade side is down again. The trade side is like down non-stop recently. It's quite bad. Armoury. Wait, is Armoury the annoying boss? I can't remember. I can't remember. Oh, okay, it's not the annoying boss. Okay. Yeah, I want to sell the guy. If my EXP bar was higher, it would be wise to stop the Delirium somewhere around here. So once your damage goes up, your defense will actually go up. Because offense is like defense also. The faster you kill the monster, the less opportunity it has to kill you, to hit you, and then the less you die. So what I need to fix is definitely the damage. As you can see just now, I did a T16 map. Damage is fine. I think it was even Delirium, right? Yeah, I did a T16 Delirium, so if you're not running Delirium for Atlas, the damage will be definitely more than enough. It will be a breeze. I can't remember, was it that map or the other that I couldn't even inflict co-exposure. Especially once you have more gear, total max rest is actually fine. Actually, I want to sell this. I wonder how much is it? But the trade side is down. Alternatively, you can sell in Discord also. Whoa. Okay, I don't know why that's highlighted like Divine Orb, because it's definitely good, but it's not worth that much. So you see, shield charge is very important. If I didn't have shield charge, I would have to walk from here all the way to here. Or flame dash. And that would cost a lot of time. Actually the best layout for this, the best map for our build is Toxic Sewers. Cause you can just walk through, shield charge through the whole thing. I have a video on it, you can go see. It's very smooth. Crimson Temple is not so smooth, but it's also partially because I think I'm not running in the right way. So Divine Blessing you need to keep at level 1. Otherwise you have not enough mana. I don't know why the boss so tanky. I think just now the Altar buffed the boss. Although I didn't read, I just clicked the boss Altar. That's what you can do for what? Oh, Enlightened. Nice. I actually don't even read the. I don't even spend time thinking. I just click the boss mod. I think if you run Eldritch, the Ether World, then maybe you have to read because you don't want to skip the divine thing.
Thanks.
Or then I'm getting safe houses because I'm running this intelligence gathering, so that I can fight Katarina more.
My regards.
Trade size down, I cannot search.
May the darkness spare you.
I wonder how much this will give. Hey, how come it's only monster level 72? That's a bit weird.
When I'm ready, I'm not prepared.
I thought it should be 83, but I don't know why. Maybe just now I was running some low tier maps. I have no idea.
Strength of the first ones runs in my veins. You will fall here. Good exile. Strongest weapon. You one day it will not be me. I've nothing to hide. Only strength matters.
Unless man is sober. Okay, that's all for today's stream. See you around. Bye bye.